Okay, so guys, I told you guys I was going to be with you guys in a bit. And yes, I am back. Back like I never left. Of course, they call me the slimmest of them. Or call me Slimity, call me Adetola Oderanwale. Boldly written. You can see for yourself. Property Matta. They share every Tuesday from 8:16, 8:15 thereabouts to the hour of 9. Where we get to talk about properties, investment. You know, how you feel still will make opportunities or get opportunities even with this whole lockdown. Last week, obviously, Mr. Debo starts with the old sick knock and it took me to a particular place. You know, I was seeing him as, I don't know.
As well.
Yesterday it was more like you say, sick and ye shall fire. I said yesterday, last week, knock and it shall be open. And there was the last one again.
Oh,
so I can't even forget. Truly, I can't even forget. That's one thing. But good to have you again.
Thank you so much.
You look good, as always.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. It's good to look good, Abby.
No.
It pays to look good.
You look good.
Okay, you're welcome, viewers. Good morning and happy Eid al-Maulud.
Eid al-Fitr.
I've seen Mubarak, I've seen Fitr.
Just say happy Salah. That's
right?
all.
So happy Salah. I'm sure a lot of people are very happy that the fast is over, so they can. You know, I usually make fun of some of my colleagues.
Why?
As a particular guy, he's very slim.
Oh,
ordinarily.
Really? Okay.
So usually during the fast period, before the thing ends, the guy would have almost disappeared. You know, so I will always make fun of him towards the end that this thing will soon end, don't worry, just be patient. We still need you here, you know. So I'm sure when I sit and eat on tomorrow, you will be so full of life. Not affect control anymore. So happy Salah, I'm sure you're enjoying your holiday, okay? Because of you, we don't have holiday. We are here because of you, you know.
So we are here to serve you guys.
You know, so we'll be continuing what we started last week, and we'll try and conclude it today. We were talking about the opportunities.
Within the coronavirus
pandemic situation, because for every situations like this, there are opportunities. In fact, for every setback, people would say that it's a setup for a comeback. It's as if that spirit is still inside me.
No, it's obviously.
So today I'll just talk about some of the things you can look out for if you are faced with the opportunities, or how do you look for opportunity, or how do you negotiate for opportunities, or decide whether there's an opportunity in something or the other that you are confronted with, okay, or that is proposed to you. What are those things that you can look out for, especially for a residential property? Somebody called last week after the show and said, probably I spoke more on commercial and all of that. Yes, I think we did.
Yeah,
however, the caller that called in particularly had a residential problem.
Yeah.
You know, and we were
able
to also...
about it.
So, but today I will still drill down on residential. I would also try to balance it with the counterpart, that's commercial, okay? So, factors that would affect the value. So, if you are, you know, we said something that this is the period to look for bargains, okay? This is the period to look for bargains. But before you know whether you are getting something at a bargain, okay, you should know what the value is like right now, okay? You should know what the value is like right now. One of the ways you can do that is by comparing prices, okay, with what has happened in the market in the recent time. So you just compare. That's the basic way to do it, and it's better to do that. And you use that commonly for properties that are usually exchanging hands, that usually sell in the market. So residential properties fall into that category. A number of commercial properties also fall into that category, okay? So you can use comparison, meaning that if I see a property now, and Mr. Debo has told us that this is the time that bargains are flying like anything. So don't
Don't dull
yourself. Don't dull yourself. Ensure that you try to, okay, look for bargain. You should first of all know, okay, what is the fair price for this property in the first case, okay? And what is a bargain here? What is a bargain now? Now, when valuers value properties, they have two figures they will give to you, usually, especially when they are valuing it for maybe you're using it, maybe you want to sell it, or you want to use it as, you want to pledge it as security or whatever, they usually will give you two values. They will give you what they call open market value or market value.
Which is?
And I would define it.
Okay.
And then they will give you what they call first sale value. First sale value. Now, open market value is the value that the property would ordinarily sell for under normal circumstance. That's the one we were taught in school to say, all conditions being equal. Do you understand? The price that the property would normally sell for without any inducement, without any special buyer coming in, without any, cajoling like that, just under normal marketing condition, okay, and bargaining, what the property will go for at that point in time, okay, on that particular date. That is the open market value. Okay? Now, they will now also give you what we call first sale value. First sale value is the value of the property, okay, that it will go for years, but they would have discounted it by like 25 to 30%. Almost usually 30%, okay? So meaning that if the property ordinarily will go for 10 million naira, that will be the open market value. Then the first sale value will be 7 million naira. 30% discount will be 7 million naira. Now, when you are looking for a bargain, they will come to you and offer such a property, for example, for let's say 11 million naira, because they expect that you will probably counter offer and then there will be bargain and they will agree at maybe 10 million at the end of the day. But you knowing the kind of season we are in, and that probably most people who are putting their properties in the market right now need money for one thing or the other. A lot of organizations and individuals need money to improve their cash position, to ensure that they have their war chest intact, to ensure that their liquidity position is not impacted so badly by this period, So that's why they are selling off some assets to be able to raise some cash. So they have a reason why they must have that money with them. You should try to negotiate between the 10 and the 7. In fact, if you can get the 7, good for you. Good for you. That would be like about the best you can get, because that's the price. First sale value is like the price colonle, You know what they call colonle? In property market, you say it's a distress sale.
How come you have all this? Anyways, you visit
okay, so
different sites.
let me tell you something. Now, I started something, Shad, so that you people will judge me for advance.
I was just about writing it down.
So, what people don't know is that for everybody, what I've come to realize is we have different sides to ourselves. That's the truth. We have different sides to ourselves. So if you see me in another environment now with tie and all of that, I'll be speaking your phone now.
Okay. So now, which one are you speaking now?
Come and see me on the street. You say property matter now. Is it not property matter we call it? But come and see me on site dealing with Omonile, our area boys that are troubling us. You think it is for them they will be speaking? For their call. That way you go to the street, you understand?
You have to come to the street.
Area. Get here. You understand me? Get here, boy. So that's it, So people have different sides to themselves. Now, so you try to get 7 million. If you can get 7 million or even below. But below, man, you'll be wicked. But then, it's not about wickedness. If they really need the money and they can take it, why not? Okay, because when you are also offloading, you may have to also sell lower than market value, because you also want to turn your money around, depending on the concept you do. Because there are people, for example, whose concept is they buy below market value. That is, they try to buy as close to that for sale value as possible or below it, because they also want to sell immediately they are buying from you. But they can afford to wait for like 6 months. They are not in a hurry. So what that means is that they are aiming to sell for 10 million. Or they can even give it out for 9, because they are contented with that 20%, that 25% that they can just make. If they can turn it around twice in the year, that's 50%, and that's good money. You know, that's their own strategy. That's how they invest. And so they will be looking for bargains. And if you really need the money, of course, you should take it, go and sort out yourself, and also allow them to also sort out themselves. So it's not really about wickedness and all. So what are those factors that you look for that can help you to decide whether this will be a good property if I can get it, okay, at the best price possible? What are those things that affect, let me say, the valuation or the value of a property? Okay, one, the location. I mean, in real estate, you've had it said several times.
Location, yeah, matters.
People would say there are three important things in property. Number one is location. Number two is location.
Number three is location.
Number three is location. So for them, location is the most important. And I totally get that. Although I also teach that there are made locations and there are locations that can be made. Do you understand? No. Yes. So as in there are locations that are already made. So you say location. So if you say, so this area now, you say Airport Road. That's location. It's already made.
Okay, yeah.
It's made how? There is airport here. That major one has made it already. Do you understand? But you can imagine a place this place before they even announced that they will site airport here. You can imagine. If somebody that has a capacity to build an airport now comes to buy land in Ajao Estate and says that we will build an airport here, he's making that location. Do you understand? He's making that location. So locations can be made by certain projects. We call them growth pole projects, okay? Projects that draw people in, okay? Locations can be made by that. So depends on you. So the popular one they usually use as an example is this Disneyland.
Okay.
Disneyland in the US, the very first one, the history is that the place was a jungle. It was a jungle. In fact, they were begging the guy. The story goes that the friend of the guy that went with him for the site visit was wondering how or why he wants to buy any property here. And I think he told the friend that he would advise him to buy now, because what they are planning to do here will change this whole place. And it did change the whole place. Yeah. Do you understand? So so he does not need any location. He makes location because of the size, the sheer size, okay, and value of the property that he wants to, of the project that he wants to put there. People will flock there for whatever reason. Do you understand? It will try to draw people there. So when you talk about location, be mindful. Okay, yes, there are locations that I may look for those. If you have sizable projects, you can make a location. Just look for some other parameter. But then, if you're buying a property, look for the location. Is this in a good location? Will people want this place? You know, why would they want this place and things like that? You should look at that. I was watching a documentary when they moved people, when they wanted to do the second mainland bridge. That Eco Bridge.
The long bridge?
The Eco Bridge. Okay. Eco Bridge.
Lagos Island, yeah.
Akpongbo and all of that. You know, they moved people from Akpongbo and all of those areas to be able to make that bridge. You know where they moved them to? No. Surulere.
Were they the ones that moved to Surulere?
Yes, they were one of the people that they moved to Surulere. You will be shocked. But I saw Surulere.
Before it was developed.
Yes, it was. In fact, what they said was that it was a farmland, swampy farmland, as in deep forest, swampy forest, not even farmland. Yes, they were farming there, but deep forest. I mean, I'm sure we'll be right back.
Yeah, we'll definitely be right back to talk more on this one Mr. Debo just mentioned. Anyway, so guys, let's quickly go on this break. When I come back, we'll be opening the phone lines and you'll be able to ask your questions and obviously make your contributions on the show. Stick around. We'll be right back.
The best investment on earth is earth.
The issue of say make a person get house, make a person get land, make a person...
Property matter na serious business, so one of the best investments wey person fit get for life. Shey you be estate agent, surveyor, town planner, or you dey into furniture and you go like make the world sabi your level? Come advertise with us on top Property Matter wey dey shele for WAP TV for every Tuesday from 8:15 to 9 a.m. Namaste. All right, so guys, straight up, let me open the phone numbers. Of course, so that I'll fit call and ask your questions or make your contributions this morning. Of course, Stable don't talk so many things. You know, we don't talk about how if you take negotiate for opportunities. Before we went on that break, he was talking about location. Say it is very, very important. He was just giving me a short history of how the whole lyric thingy become about. You know, that I never knew, but obviously I don't tell myself. After this one, I would definitely go read up or just browse through to know more. So guys, please feel free to call us 08173147589. Of course, 08105434984. Please help us turn down your volume, your TV volume, just as you are trying to call us. Today on the show, we are ready, if you guys are ready. Opportunities within the coronavirus pandemic. Yeah. Mr. Debo, are we still on location?
Yes, well, I think we've rounded up on location, actually. So location, important. You need to know where the location is and how it sits in terms of opportunities and all. Okay, that would affect the value. Also, what affects property value is like the kind of season that we are in right now. The property market and economic performance, okay? The economy is not doing so well right now, and so that's why properties can be affected. The value can come down, and things like that, or can stagnate, So, periods like this, you can get bargains. That's just what I'm saying. I mean, I've said that. Periods like this, you can get bargains. Then the neighborhood quality of a place. Yes, location can be fantastic, but the neighborhood quality also can matter and help impact on the value.
Neighborhood, like if people are already building, if you've got...
Yes, so neighborhood quality in the sense that, okay, so I'm trying to see a place where neighborhood quality, okay, let's take Badore. I have an idea of that place. Yes, okay. Somewhere Aja. In Badore, there is a place called Cooperative Villa, and there is Badore. Cooperative is like cooperative estates, and then there is Badore itself. They are in the same neighborhood, okay? But you see, if you talk about location, and let's assume that that place is attractive for one reason or the other, the quality within the cooperative villa is better than within the open town itself. Okay. And that makes properties within that cooperative villa to be much more expensive as compared to properties within Badore itself. You get what I'm saying? So that's what we mean by
So let me ask, is it qualities in terms of environment now, in terms of structures?
Of course, those are the things that make both everything. The type of infrastructure you have there and the type of structures there will make will impact on the value. Now, and if you go to areas, for example, in Lagos now, you have Ilasa and Iriakari estates. Okay. I don't know if you know. I'm talking about this other side. Iriakari estate to Godwin Monua, right? And all of that. Now, you would see that there is almost like a border wherein you will move to Iriakari estate from Ilasa. Properties in Ilasa are not commanding the same value as compared to properties in Iriakari estate. Why? Neighborhood quality. The quality of the neighborhood in Iriakari estate is far, far better than that of Ilasa. So if somebody mistakenly puts a property that is of the standard of Iriakari estate in Ilasa, he will be getting less for his money.
Because of that environment.
Because of the quality of the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So if you are buying a property, you must be conscious of that. And this kind of knowledge can also help you in negotiating a place down, because of what exists there, okay? The quality of the neighborhood also matters a great deal. Of course, property size and property type. If you are buying a bungalow and if you are buying high rise, they definitely will command different prices. So property size and type would also matter in terms of the value you can get. Even if it is the same type of property, but if it is bigger, it will command more value. At the end of the day, properties are function of square meters. Let's put it that way. Function of square meters. The cost of a property, of building a property, for example, is a function of square meters. So if I'm doing an 100 square meter property, if I'm building an 100 square meter property, I would definitely spend less on that as compared to if it were 150 square meters property that I'm building, even if they are just bungalow, both of them.
Okay, Mr. Deba, I'm sorry, but my question might sound very funny, but I'll just ask because there's this mindset. A friend of mine stays on the island.
Okay.
And I've been opportune to actually go to where she stays. It is not, the environment is not bad, but then how much she pays is very, very alarming. And
alarming in the sense that it's high?
Yes, quite outrageous. And I'm asking, like, why is it like that on the island when you can easily get, Ajao is, like you said, it's a top notch for people like us,
Yeah.
Okay, I know. Okay, so I'm asking, why is it that buildings on the island are quite expensive, even when the environment is not that, cool?
So for the island one you're talking about, it would be good if we can have an idea. Are you saying that environment is comparable to Ajao?
Yes,
okay,
it
fine.
is.
So location matters in that regard. Do you understand?
But
so
don't
forget that what we are itemizing here may not apply singly. You may have to compare a number of them before you know why a property price is this in this place and is this in that place. So for island, for example, because a larger percentage of the economic life of Lagos State is right there on the island. Do you understand? That neighborhood, do you understand? That location becomes very much more attractive to people. So there is higher competition for properties there. People want to stay there more than they want to stay in Ajao. I don't know. I've never seen someone who his dream is to stay in Ajao.
What's that?
No, I've not met the person, is what I'm saying. I'm sure that there are people like that.
Yes,
but unfortunately, I've not met such a person whose dream.
This day we want to shake. What's so special about island?
You are not getting me. I'm not saying it's special. I'm just saying that because of what happens there, it will attract, those things, and people will start attaching some class to it. Naturally, it's not as if it matters. Exactly. Really? They will start making it as if it's something of, even within island, there are classes. Some people will be telling you that, come, anything after Chevron is you are on the mainland. Some people say, anything after Chevron, you are on the mainland. Don't say you are in that.
Don't say you're on the island.
When they say, where do you live? Don't say island. Don't say, so you can imagine that. And with the number of projects, and I suspect, I wouldn't, since they've not paid for it, I won't mention them. But there's a project coming on. Of course, there's a number of projects that if you mention, they are like, you know what you call zip code. Your code where you stay. They are like, they open doors. When somebody just says, what's your address? And you, even on the island, I say, Banana Island.
We cannot pay your salary.
You are doing well. And he says, Banana Island, you are doing well.
Can afford to pay.
Or you mention another place. So, Parkview. There's even within the island. Do you understand? What gives these places is what we are talking about. Okay. So, property size and state of repairs also matters. Property age and state of repairs also matters. So that's why it's always good to take care of your property. No matter how old your property is, take care of it. If it's not, because even if you don't take care of it, like what we mentioned in some of our previous episodes, and by the way, if you've missed any of our episodes, you can go on the YouTube page, go to the YouTube page and just catch up, okay? Check Property Matter, Wale Adenuga TV.
WAP TV channel.
WAP TV channel.
Just search for WAP TV channel.
WAP TV channel. Go on the on YouTube page and then look for Property Matter and enjoy yourself. You definitely need to. So we've mentioned in time past what obsolescence is regarding a property. We've said every property has a life cycle. And it will enter into obsolescence at one time or the other. However, how you manage your property, how you maintain it, would also determine how fast or how late or how prolonged you can have its useful life. If you don't manage it very well, obsolescence will set in very, very shortly.
Mr. Debo, if you're talking about management, what do you mean? Do you mean, okay, like them coming to paint or fixing blocks?
Repairs, general maintenance are in different categories. There are scheduled maintenance.
But some landlords will tell you that they don't have issues with their buildings. Even when the colors are peeling off, they tell you that it doesn't affect. So is there a particular time or years?
They're telling you is not what we are talking about. We are talking about you managing the property obviously well. If I'm telling you, I can be telling you because I don't have money for it.
They never have.
If paints are peeling off, you can't tell me. And normally, you shouldn't even allow your paint to be peeling off before you paint. It's not until it peels off before you paint. For example, averagely, for a property, maybe externally particularly, between an average of 3 to 5 years, you should repaint.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
For most properties, between an average of 3 to 5 years. But there are properties that I've known them since I was
still like that.
I don't want to say I was giving birth to, but at least since I became conscious of myself, I've known those properties. And my brothers and sisters, those properties are still exactly like that. I'll tell you one funny story. So, and I will do this soon on my social media page. Have you seen those Jakonde estates? Those Baba Jakonde estates? You see a block of flats. You see one tenant that is obviously tired of his neighbors. He will come outside of his own flat that is on the second floor. He will paint that portion outside. The guy is tired of his neighbors. He must have spoken to them. He must have called them and said, let's paint this place, let's contribute. They are not answering him. The guy will just go out and paint his own. He's forced to do that. Unfortunately, it's not as if he will get so much value for doing that. Unfortunately. The house would have been better done together. Do you get? So, and it affects property value. It affects property value. There's no way it doesn't affect it. So, if I'm given a well-maintained property and a poorly maintained property, obviously, they won't go for the same price. Even if they're in the same location, they look alike and all of that, they have the same number of years left on their title and all of that. They won't go for the same price. Okay? Land size. Okay? Land size on which the property is sitting is also a factor. It's also a factor, land size. Particularly, how big, okay, it is or how small matters. So if for example, you have a 3-bedroom bungalow, okay, but it's sitting on a 2 plot of land. It's sitting on a land that is 2 plots, okay, and you have another similar 3-bedroom bungalow sitting on 1 plot. They won't go for the same price. That's what we are saying. So the land size also matters, okay? It affects the value of what you are buying. And in some cases, if you see some properties, they are sitting on less than a plot, as compared to the ones that are sitting on a regular plot, they won't command the same value. You should also know that. Then what amount of open space you have?
Let's take John, sir.
Okay, we have a caller. Oh, John.
John, good morning. Hello, John.
I hope we've not lost John.
Network has been crappy. Hello, John.
I think we've lost John.
Please call us back. Apologies on the network for today, Guy B. But please feel free to call the numbers on the screen. Hopefully, before the end of the show, I'll be able to take your calls today. 08173147589. Of course, 08105434984. Okay.
So, open space, play area, what amount of open space do you have? There are some properties that, yes, have you seen those properties that they've built up the whole property? Ordinarily, by law, I think your built area shouldn't be more than about 40%. If I'm wrong, I think architects can correct us that are watching. I think it's about 40% thereabout that your built space should be. So if you have a land size of say 600 square meters, what we are saying is that the area of that land that you are able to build on should not be more than 240 square meters, such that 360 is for setback and all of those things, and whatever you have to also provide for. Do you understand? Around the area. But you will see properties that, Lord Jesus, there is no, even you as a human being, to walk through the property.
Always a big deal.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
You would have to squeeze yourself to pass beside, and they've built up the whole place.
Very choked up.
No free area, It affects badly the price of a property. So some of them will tell you that in my property I have nine flats.
Let's take Akpos from Delta. Hello, Akpos. Akpos.
Wow.
I don't know.
They will say in my property I have 9 flats. They're on a plot of land, 9 flats. They will do 4 floors, ground, first, second, third, and then put a penthouse. That's the 9th one. Put a
Just
penthouse.
on one
Each
building.
floor will have, each other floors will have 2 flats each. What happens with those kind of property? Of course, parking. They
becomes a problem. They can't have
be
a
parking
space.
outside on the streets and all of that.
Not be disturbing people.
They definitely didn't get approval. If they got approval, that approval
But
is
Mr.
very
Debo,
questionable.
let's be sincere. Do they
It's
really
very
get
questionable.
approval for properties in Lagos? Because you see this thing you just mentioned, this particular one that you just talked about, I can count how many buildings that I know that are like that. So it is like people they no longer get approvals when they want to build.
Well,
they just bring people to the site.
The system we are in is unfortunate. Well, I can assure you that none of those properties that are like that would have qualified for
let's take
proper
Tosin
approval.
from
So I don't
Abuja.
know whether they have approval or not. But the approval is very questionable if they have any.
Very. Tosin.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, Tosin.
Finally.
I'm fine.
All right, then. Please go on.
Yeah, I want to speak with the realtor there.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
here.
Yeah, before I get to Abuja, I used to be around Kwakwa Jao.
Wow. Hey,
Now-
Kwakwaja, okay.
Yeah, although my flat I still maintain it after 2 years.
Okay.
I refuse to drop it.
Okay.
But the problem the issue is the cost. If you want to get a new apartment now at Kwakwa Jao, Yanosolo, those areas.
Yeah.
If your rent is 300K, the agent will be request for almost another 300K extra. What's the cost?
As his agency.
What's the
Agent
cost?
fee. Is it the new government legislation? I don't get. It's tiring.
Very.
I know someone
annoying.
that rented a single room at just opposite the other area, opposite the Yanosolo.
Okay.
That room costs, is it 4,000 per month or how much? The agent collected 80,000.
Wow.
I was now asking, what's the proportion of 80,000 to the rent?
80,000 as agency, you mean?
Agency fee for just a single room.
Or caution fees there too?
Caution, I don't even understand.
You can imagine.
So I get you totally, Tosin, and I can confirm that yes, it does happen in the market, but there is no law backing such. Unfortunately, it is the law of demand and supply that is fueling that. What do I mean? They have people that are taking it. That's why they can afford to continue to sell such. And why do they have people that are taking it? Because we have fewer properties than we have people who want to rent. There are more people who want to rent, and there are few properties. So competition is high. So people feel that if I don't take it now, before I know, somebody else will take it,
yeah.
and I won't have a property. So that's why
Just go for
but
it.
it's not supported
Not
by law
supposed to be.
in any way. A typical agent's fee is 10% of what you pay as rent. So if you are, and in Lagos, most part of Lagos, you are only supposed to pay 1 year rent. And it's supposed to be 10%. So they will tell you stories like, we are many. What is 10% of, for example, in your case, your friend, if it's 4,000 per month, that means a 48,000 naira per annum property. So if you say 10%, for 4,800, the guy will not even listen to you. You understand? Yeah, you can imagine 4,800 versus 80,000.
That's ridiculous.
You can imagine. So it's just it's just something untoward that is happening in the market, and it's
So
not right.
agents licensed?
Licensed, not necessarily so. Lagos State, for example, is trying to do something now, but not necessarily so. If you say registered, yes, Lagos is trying to register them now and probably license them. But there are agents who belong to trade associations. Okay, and there are also agents who belong to professional bodies.
Okay.
For me, I prefer dealing with agents that belong to professional bodies beyond just trade associations, because there are so many trade associations that some of them are just a barely kind of association. They have no benefit. They are birds of the same feather, flocking together. So you want to start from, I think we discussed about how to pick an agent you should work with in one of our episodes. So please go and watch that, okay? Go and watch that. So open space, we're talking about open space. And so somebody builds 9 flats on a plot of land. What he does not know is that he can't get good rent for those flats. But he will be convincing himself in that instead of having 4 flats on a plot, for example, or 6 at most, he has 9. And whatever price he's getting, if he has up for the 9, it's better than if it were 6. But what he does not realize is that 1, he will get lower amount. 2, he will continue to get lower amount. The value of the property will continue to depreciate because the extent of usage and maintenance that is required, he can't even probably keep up with it. With that kind of mentality, ab initio. So the property will run aground in no time. So you see a lot of those built-up properties, check them in 15 years. They are like barracks.
Yeah.
Sorry to use that. They are like, what is this? People, you will see all manner of things happening there because maintenance.
No maintenance.
Maintenance will be very, very poor in such places. So it doesn't really make sense. It affects the value. And if you are buying such properties, especially when they are now selling those properties, when the man is old, the woman is old, or the children are whatever, of course, buyers will usually just bargain based on the value of the land. Because they are going to pull down the property, most of the time,
like that.
because it's of no use in that area. So those are some of the things I think we should just wrap it up there. Of course, yes, we should just wrap it up there.
So hopefully we start from something new next week.
Definitely, we'll take on something new next week. We'll start a new topic next week, and I believe that you've enjoyed it.
Yeah, sure they did. And apologies again on top with network level for this morning. Wasn't our fault, we can't cheat nature. That's the truth. But anyways, the channel continues. We've got other entertainment programs lined up for today. So please, even when Engineer Debo and I come out, we still got you guys covered. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
It's always a delight to have you
here.
So guys, please stay safe. Please protect yourself even if you're going out, and do the needful so that we all can stay alive. All right. So have a good day and enjoy your Salah break. Thank you.